Hi there sweeties, welcome back to another Tuesday, another week, another video. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're stripping it back today. We're doing what I planned to do at the beginning of the year, and that is a little advice video. As you know, I like to be Mama Shaaba sometimes. I like to give out some advice, not that I'm in any way qualified to do that. I just want to help you out and, you know, satisfy my need for feeling like I'm doing something good by giving my unwanted opinions. I'm sorry to see that all of you are going through so much at the moment. This damn lockdown, this pandemic, but you know what? Things are gonna get better, and hopefully between us we can help each other out and find a way through this most effectively with all of our well-being as hyped as it possibly can be. We'll have a little chat. If there's anything that you feel you can help anybody with, please share. We're all here for each other in this little pod. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Hwah! I don't know if I can come out to my parents as I'm scared about my safety. I know this isn't technically lockdown related, but I do just want to point out that due to the lockdown, a lot of people are feeling like they can't do very much right now because they're in an environment they're being made to stay, and an environment that may not be as fully supportive of your beautiful, authentic self. If that is the case and is not the right time for you to come out, don't feel like you have to. That's probably my biggest advice. Don't feel forced, don't feel, if you're not ready, and especially if you don't feel safe, like you have to tell people who you know are not going to treat you very well. There are some great resources where you can speak to someone if you're feeling that way anonymously on the phone, even via live chat. Ooh, another way if you're like worried about gauging the situation is you could maybe bring up the topic of LGBT+ness without actually coming out to see how they feel about it. So like, if something's happened on the news, you can be like, oh hey, that thing happened, what do you think? You know, and maybe gauge the feelings from there. You might find out that people are not as against it as you think, or maybe the other way, and therefore you are just better prepared for when you're ready to come out in your own way. Best of luck though, for whenever you do feel ready. You are valid, and you are beautiful, and you are wonderful. How's that? Did Mama Shaaba do good for her first one? Okay, next one. Being productive in lockdown. I've truly hit the wall and work takes me so long now. See this tiny little face that's right there, along with your words? I've never related to something more. I feel you, I feel you. I am slacking on my deadlines. Just know that you're not alone. Everybody's experiencing that smack into the productivity wall. It's apparently just like a byproduct of being in a state of crisis for such a long time. Take it easy on yourself. Communicate to people that maybe, like the people who are waiting for your deadlines, that maybe you are going a bit slow and that it's because of the world. And I guarantee you they'll be like, babe, same, because I would. Tips on how to really be productive. I'd probably say wear a bra. That's a big one. I haven't worn a bra very much. I'm giving you advice that I'm not taking, but on days where you feel like you need to be productive, I have done that. I've just been like, no, get up, put a bra on. Now it feels like I have to do something because I went through that effort of putting on that bra. Also limit distractions, find yourself a separate space if you are privileged and have the ability to do so, even if that's like a dining room table. It's just not the bed or not the sofa. Somewhere where you can be like, yes, this is my work zone. I'm gonna do it. Oh, I thought of another one. The best one actually, for me at least. Make yourself accountable. If you have something that you know you need to do, set yourself a realistic deadline and give that deadline to someone. Your parent, your sister, your best friend, your dog, maybe not your dog because they can't chase you up on it, but someone who understands, and be like, I need to do this thing and I need to do it by this date. Chase me about it. Even if I call you horrible names, make sure I stick to it. And then later on, when you haven't done the thing that you needed to do but it's coming up to the deadline and they're like, hey, have you done that thing yet? You can't go, ugh, leave me alone, because then they can turn around and say, hey, you told me that you might do this and you told me that you needed to do this, and so get on with your bloody deadline. And you have no choice but to listen. So accountability, always a good thing. How to not downplay myself. My self-esteem is so low that I can't think in positives without minuses. Bless you, I'm so sorry you're feeling that way. Obviously you're perfectly entitled to feel the way that you feel, but you shouldn't be feeling that way, because I bet you there's tons of positive things about you. Take a minute to think about the wonderful things and get rid of that stupid little imposter that's saying otherwise. Just flick him away. We don't want that. We don't need that in our life. They'll come back, they always do. But for right now, positive zone only. Try and repeat mantras that say like, I am amazing. I am beautiful. What is one part of your body that you really love about yourself? Seriously, you watching this video, have a think about it. Don't think about anything negative, just the good parts of your body physically that you really love. I really love my tattoos. I really love my boobs. They're a lot of fun. I love my boobs. What are some things that you love? Have a think about those and just really appreciate yourself for a hot second. Okay, now do the same but for the non-tangible possessions of your qualities. What are things about you that you just love? I will give you some examples. Oh, I love that sometimes I can be really witty with my comebacks. Like sometimes when I'm discussing things with Jamie, I'll like say things and then I'll like, my inner monologue will be like, oh my god, Shaaba, that was so cool. Yeah, I do that. I love it. Don't judge me. What else? Oh, Jamie said something so cute yesterday. He gave me a cuddle and he was just like, Shaaba, you make things beautiful. Because it was about like this project that was like design based and I was like, thank you, because I wasn't feeling so great about that design. You just made me feel really happy about it. And he was like, no, you make life beautiful. And it just made me feel so special for a second. It's not supposed to be like a spongy video. I'm sorry if I've just like induced puke. I do think sometimes that I can make things seem pretty by focusing on the positives. So yeah, think about your own positives, and if you're feeling brave, share them in a comment down below. Go for it, because you deserve it. You're amazing. Take that imposter out, stick those negative thoughts away, and really take seconds, minutes to just appreciate yourself. One final thing that I will say as well is try to justify the minuses. Often, if we have bad things in our lives, we can work to change them, or at the very least, we can find a way of understanding where they came from. I'm an absolute control freak, and I realise that that's one of my minuses, but I understand where that comes from, and I'm at peace with that, and I know that I need to change it, but it makes me hate the negatives less when you understand where they come from. I hope that makes sense. The discipline to study work when it stops being a habit. Oof, it's hard. As I mentioned before, accountability is a good one. One thing that I've noticed as well is that our internal like body clocks have really shifted. For some reason my body's decided that during lockdown my most productive moment, my feeling of when I'm feeling inspired to work, is at 6 PM and it doesn't stop until about 4 AM and then I don't get up until like 12, sometimes 1. And I'm like, bloody hell, I've wasted the day. I just watch TV. I do it all backwards. I'd rather just get up at normal time, do work, and then have the joy of watching things late before I go to bed. But no, my body disagrees. So try and get yourself into a body routine. What I'm doing at the moment with Jamie, he's significantly more resistant to it, but we're gonna get there, is slightly changing the alarm every day, moving it forward about 15 minutes. We're gonna wake up at normal time. We will. Mark my words. So yeah, create your own sense of routine and also reward yourself. Set yourself small deadlines, bite chunks, chunk bites? Bite-sized chunks, that's what I was trying to say. And reward yourself afterwards. Be like, sure, I would like that little Lindt chocolate left over from my Christmas pile once I've done this thing. Sure, I'm gonna FaceTime my sister once I've done this thing. How do I cope with the world exploding right now? I'm so sorry. Let me give you a hug. Something that I've been drawn towards is streaming. It just makes me feel like a little bit less alone to like hear other people escape into different worlds of realities or doing their own things. Anyway, my point is Twitch has really helped me, both doing it and watching other people do it. So perhaps take a look at that. Also, give yourself a break. It's okay to feel like the world is imploding because we're living through a great historical moment. You might not recognise it because we're in it, but this is the kind of stuff in textbooks that you look at and go, whoa. Give yourself some time. Get yourself a hug if you can, whether it be with a plushie or a pet or someone in your household, and do your best to stay safe. The light can genuinely be seen at the end of this tunnel. And just remember that for every butthole that you are coming across and hearing about, there are at least 2 non-buttholes who agree with you and who are equally as frustrated. I can relate in many ways, and I send you love. Breakups. Jesus Christ, please help me. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for people who are experiencing extra hurt like that right now. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound a bit harsh. Block the damn person. Block them, delete the number from your phone, get rid, because you don't need the ability to go back. Because if you have it, you will. I'm talking from experience. You're not gonna listen to me, but at least I can say I've done my part by trying to tell you anyway. Also, just let yourself feel sad. To wallow, you need to process that in order to move on. Remember that, as I said very non-wisely in another video, there's plenty of sea in the fish. If this didn't work for you for whatever reason, that's okay. There will be other opportunities for you to feel right. It hurts right now, but just think about yourself 10 years down the line and how this moment will feel in comparison, and the pain will be less. Very not articulate today, but I hope you understand the point of what I'm trying to say. In other words, Ariana Grande, thank you next. Maybe we can try and like flip that situation. I don't know what kind of person you are, but sometimes it helps me to see the positive sides, to be like, I've learned something from this experience, this has not been a waste. Sending love, prescribing ice cream and cuddles and blankets and movies. Setting boundaries, how to stand up to bad friends, and what should you do if you think a friend is toxic. Whew! If you think someone is toxic, get them out of your life. You don't need that negativity in your life, especially right now. We need positive support networks around us, and I know it's tricky, but cut that off. If you don't feel like you can cut it off, or if you feel like there is a way to communicate, to try and salvage something before you cut off, that is fine, but communicate those boundaries. I did that very recently, last year in fact, and I was just like, I can't deal with this. It hurts me more than it helps me to be in this relationship, to have this connection, and I am better than that. I deserve more for myself. So if you're feeling that way, boundaries that you can set, keeping certain subjects out of bounds, it's very contextual, it's very dependent on your situation, or ensuring that what you want is clearly signposted and well communicated so they know, and if they can't respect that, goodbye. Goodbye. I know it's easier said than done. I know that it takes a lot of time and a lot of balls to be able to be like that. But sometimes, when enough is enough, and you know that enough is enough, you'll get there. So I'm sending you strength and I'm sending you self-worth, because there's two things that you need right now in order to deal with that situation. Well, can you ever be too young to fall in love and know that the person is the one? Honestly, I do think you can be too young to fall in love. I also think that you can be too young to know what love is, or too inexperienced, should I say, to know what love is. Sometimes you can feel what you think is love. I'm saying this as if I know what love feels like. I think I do, but then maybe I don't and I fall into that category as well. The one thing that you can do is listen to your body. If being with someone feels right, I don't mean sexually, I just mean, well, I mean, I guess also that way. But you know, like if just the idea of being with someone feels like something that you need to fight for, that you feel is right, that feels right in here, then go with the flow. Listen to your body. That is all we can do. We can listen to ourselves. After all, our brain is the most cleverest parts of ourselves. We should listen to it. It named itself. And in terms of someone being the one, I don't think there is such a thing as the one. I don't believe in soulmates. Let me clarify, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? You don't think Jamie's your soulmate? No, I don't think Jamie's my soulmate, but I do think Jamie is all I want right now. In life, he is my partner in crime, in love, in friendship, in everything. And I cannot see a future other than Jamie, but that's not to say that that is how it will always be. Being realistic, things change, people grow, people change, things happen, circumstances beyond your control. If all we can do is love right now, being in this moment, experiencing what we're experiencing, then that's a great thing. I'm sorry if that was like kind of morbid, not what you expected me to say. I'm not saying it is a bad thing, but don't be deluded into thinking that soulmates are soulmates regardless of actions, or that you will only ever be with one person for your entire life, because sometimes life acts differently. Okie dokie, peas versus spuds. Both. Both! Why do you need to choose? In fact, on our Twitch community we call everybody sweet potatoes. Sweet peas, potatoes, sweet potatoes. Well, maybe you're a sweet potato. Okay. Dealing with social anxiety, if you haven't already, it can happen, and I imagine that social anxiety is going to hit people a lot harder coming out of lockdowns and social distancing. Sometimes I'll even watch TV shows now and be like, big crowds of people don't know how to react, and it makes my heart flutter. Or I'll be faced with a postman, someone who I haven't spoken to in a very long time, or like a new person, which is an experience that I haven't had in a very long time, and be like, here you go, blah, 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 blah. You take the phone. It is okay to feel that way. How to deal with it. Take it one step at a time. Maybe expose yourself to things online first, see how you deal, keep up social connections, be easy on yourself, learn the techniques to ground yourself, and make sure you are going out there for support when you need to. I know for Jamie, speaking to other people who had anxiety and hearing about other people who had anxiety really helped him. So maybe that's something you can do too. How to be productive in lockdown when it feels like the world has stopped and there is no point. I know we've sort of talked about productivity, but this point really got to me, the world stopping and there just not being any point. I've heard this from somebody else who's very dear to me, who, like me, has lost multiple family members and is about to lose another to this horrific era. It sucks, it sucks. And it's very easy to think, what's the point doing anything? What is the point? But there is a point. There is a point, there has to be. And I have been racking my brains and thinking long and hard for trying to find what this point is to articulate to this person. I can't say the point is exactly this. I can say that I love moments of happiness. I love feeling love. I love hugs, I love parties, I love speaking to people, I love eating a good piece of food and feeling that sense of warmth, satisfaction in my tummy. There are many things that I love about this world. The little shiver that comes down your spine when you hear from someone. I love that sense of, yeah, I'm really cool when I do things for me, when I'm proud of myself. And all of these things and these feelings that I'm talking about are things that we will experience, even though it may feel like it's a little while off. We will, and that is why we keep going. We need to try and maintain ourselves in our best and most optimum form so that we're ready when we can take life by the horns, is that the phrase? Horns again, and make it everything that we want to be. That is all the time I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're feeling well advised and ready to conquer the world. Sending so much hope and happiness and positivity your way. We're in this together. We're all in this together. I'll see you next week with another video. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Be kind. Have a great day. See you later. Mwah. Bye.